stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sim Racing Media Network. What a pleasure it is to be back here for the Ruff-Neck Racing Series, brought to you by James Wagner's Welding. We are live for the season 3 opener, I apologize, at Texas Motor Speedway. I am joined tonight by a new person on for the Ruff-Neck Racing Series. I am joined by Sam Frazier. Sam, how are we today?
Hey, Angel, we're doing pretty good tonight. I can't wait to see what this league has in store for us for a showing tonight here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Well, we appreciate everybody joining us in the YouTube chat as well. You guys are every bit a part of this as the drivers and as ourselves here in the broadcast booth. For those of you jumping back in from last season, welcome our new guy Sam here. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. We these fans, they love to chat with us on YouTube, Sam. So it's really nice. Really happy to be bringing season 3 to all of you guys out there in YouTube. It's going to be a great season. We've got 20-something trucks out here for tonight's season opener at Texas Motor Speedway. They're finishing up qualifying here. So let's go ahead and go over the race info for tonight's race. And of course, brought to you, as mentioned, by James Wagner's Welding and AdminBoxx. We'll get to them here in a few moments. 75 degrees for the ambient temp, 45% humidity. So sounds like a typical Florida day over in Texas. 15 miles per hour wind, so it's going to be a little bit windy. But they should have some pretty good grip in that track with the track temp of 76 degrees. And, I apologize, everybody. That didn't work. Hold on just a moment. Okay, there we go. Let's get that working now. So, they're finishing up qualifying here in just a moment. Sam, this is Texas, and I know a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about Texas, but last season, it was, I think, the third or fourth to last race, and these guys put on, honestly, such a good show. I actually considered having Texas on my schedule because of it.
Really?
So, I'm excited to see what happens. A lot of new drivers here. What's not new is the pole position in Christopher Barker, last year's champion, going to go ahead and start off the season strong with the pole position, followed by Daniel Love, who has shown on so many occasions such great speed. We saw last year, I can't remember if it was the last race, where Daniel really had that race won, and essentially he dominated the race, led most of the laps, kind of lost in the final 10 laps or 10 or 20 laps. So top two, not a surprise to see them up there. Rick Baldwin, and Chris Ramsey in row number 2. Row 3 to James Wagner and Jimmy Rowdy, Stephen Shue, Matthew Ace in row number 4. Jeff Scott, Chad Hawkins in row number 5, and then row 6 belongs to Jeffrey Ledford and Randall Dale. Hold on. Row 7 is Jonathan Vandenberg and Jerome Cooper, Larry Fairman and Chris Melton make up row number 8. Row 9, Jason Kinney and Matthew Gall, Brandon Hinton, Tim Richardson for row number 10. Pete Dillon, Matt Worrell in row 11. And then Brandon Etheridge going to make up your final row in row 12, position number 23. So we have 23 trucks out here. Honestly, just about everybody is familiar to the series, at least the last couple races of last season. So I expect, honestly, some darn good racing here tonight. And I know that you're new for the league itself, Sam, but man, these guys, there's a lot of respectful driving between these drivers, and I think you'll see that here as this race goes on over the next 100 laps.
Yeah, just looking at watching them in practice, I could tell that these guys definitely have a lot of respect for each other. So there's no doubt in my mind that this race is going to be super clean and super aggressive as well.
And that's the fun thing about Texas. They're going to have all this grip in the track where they're going to be essentially full throttle just about through 1 and 2, probably for a couple of laps before the tires do wear out. But they'll be full throttle through 3 and 4 for probably most of the run. It is 75% fuel, so I'm going to assume that's probably, like, give or take, probably 20 to 30 laps maybe.
Yeah, should maybe about like lap 25, I believe, maybe.
Yeah, I think
just based on what I know from previous experiences.
Well, it might be better than what I can do. Sam, I love to always get my partner here in crime to start off our races, so I'm going to throw you under the bus. Let's do this.
They're lined up here too wide. Chris Ramsey sees the flag. They are green here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Ruff-Neck Racing League.
I got to Sam under the bus, everybody there. This is our first time working together. We're going to figure it out. We're going to have a lot of fun. Right now, you have Rick Baldwin, who's going to take second away from Daniel Love. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and take that easy arc around in 1 and 2. Just that outside is just such a disadvantage in 1 and 2 until these tires start to wear out, Sam. That's when you can start seeing these guys really start to spread it out.
Yeah, once they get spread out, you know, I don't know, since it's my first time watching these guys race, I don't know if they're going to be super aggressive right off the bat, or they're going to maybe back off early and just kind of play the tire game and the fuel game. So we'll see I'll see what they're going to do.
Well, I think we're all in for a show tonight. These drivers continue to improve. So, oh, there you go. You see right there, I think that was Jeffrey Ledford with quite the move there under, I believe, Jeff Scott. Going to put it 3 wide through 3 and 4. Going to stay side by side as they clear Chad Hawkins at that number 84. But so, something to know about this league is that this is Season 3, but this series started essentially for beginners. They wanted anybody who was new to iRacing, who wasn't welcome in other series, to feel welcomed and to learn together. And you would expect for that to mean, Wreckfest to start the series, but it's not been what it was at all. There was great racing from the very beginning. The respect was there. Everybody was just trying to learn, and there's been some great racing since. And here in Season 3, I mean, so many of these drivers are still the same ones from Season 1. So a lot of these drivers really have learned to race, learn their craft around each other. And here you see this. They can be comfortable enough to be pushing, going 3 wide. And, Jeff Scott gets a little bit loose. But then you see the 0-1 backs off.
He'll catch it.
The 0-1 backs off and gives him room. And Jeff Scott does a great job of catching it. So that's just the respect that I'm telling you these guys have. And it makes for just some fantastic racing here. Now 4 laps into this race at Texas.
Angel, going back to what we were saying about it not being a wreck fest from the start, and I think the reason why is because, these guys were new to league racing and maybe just iRacing in general, but most of the people that want to race in leagues like that are guys who are going to take it seriously, so they're going to put into practice by themselves and in the official series, also trying to learn on their own. So you see some trucks taking the really low line in the try over there, just cutting through the grass just a little bit.
And we just
these guys are probably definitely taking seriously.
Yeah, Rick Baldwin actually just took the lead while we were looking on to the other ones. And then you see James Wagner. James Wagner's Welding, actually his father's business. And James himself, for those of you who remember, or those of you who are new, he suffered a heart attack last year. They postponed the race for that day off to later on at the end of the season. And he was back 2 weeks later, and he was running top 5. So this is a guy who loves to race, and it is so awesome to see him running top 3 right now here at Texas early on in this race.
That's actually pretty incredible. That shows that these guys really want to race. As you see here, we got James is looking on the back of Christopher Barker. He's gonna try to set himself up to maybe make a move to the inside. Not going to get it done.
There.
And, I definitely want to be patient.
Andrew joining us here in our YouTube, one of the series admins who, Season 1 champion and then was unable to attend for the entirety of Season 2, saying that he's going to make a comeback at one point this year. Won't tell us when. I am excited to see that, Andrew. He puts on a great show whenever he's out here with some of these drivers. But here it is. We've got a battle for the lead again already on lap 9.
Yeah, we got Christopher Barker trying to take that spot back from Rick Baldwin for first. And it looks like James Wagoner is also going to set himself up. I think he's going to try to go the inside here going into turn 3. No, and looks like Rick Baldwin's going to try to come back. I don't know. These guys seem to be really making moves, and I like to see that kind of stuff. Obviously, they're staying clean. Nothing too crazy. No real drama. So that's definitely going to look good on their resumes for later leagues.
Yeah, we jump in here a little bit further down in the pack where some more action is happening as well. You see right there Stephen Shu making his move up along with Chris Melton. Chris Melton's up 8 spots already from his 16th starting position, so he's currently your biggest mover of the race, trying to make up as many positions as possible. Here we are now, just to be about 10 laps through the race. We're starting to have trucks kind of spread out a little bit, and also because these drivers have been pushing it a little hard here to the first couple of laps you've seen, you're gonna start, it's about the lap 15 mark where we start seeing that tire wear fall in. And I know it's a night race and these guys are still full throttle, but you're gonna really start to feel that at one point. Sam, what would you do here? How do you adjust to what the race is giving you at this point in time, 10 laps, about to be 11 laps into the race?
So if I was pushing as hard as these guys have been, honestly, about like right here, I probably would back off on just for the tire's sake and just kind of see what the people in front of me are doing, maybe follow their line, probably start like a little train definitely get spread out. I don't want to be too close to get that dirty air going into turn 3 and 4. So those turns are a little bit tighter than turn 1 and 2, and that really eats at your tires if you're going to push super hard into those turns. So I'll pretty much for the next several laps up until the next pit stop, I would back off maybe about like a quarter of the aggression that I was already at.
Well, I mean, and I love that you brought up pushing through 3 and 4, where you know, you're gonna lose that momentum, and it's so important here, especially going down the front stretch. I mean, you're basically, you know, carrying momentum off of 2 back around into turn 1 at this place. So any type of mess up in 3 and 4 that could affect that now is going to affect you now down the front stretch as well. So you lose so much time for one slight mistake that you could possibly have.
Yeah, that's honestly really any oval track. And as we see James Wagoner trying to make a move on Christopher Barker once again, probably going to get it in the 3 and 4, because I think Christopher might be doing what I'm saying and backing off in these turns and probably just trying to have an aggressive exit. Maybe. That's what it looks like. I just want to mention some people in the YouTube chat are going a little bit crazy here.
Man, I was waiting for you to finish, because I was saying it looks like you already got yourself some early fans here now. 15,
yeah,
about to be on lap 15. So
yeah, we got Anthony Zabala, Calpaton going crazy in the chat like since this broadcast started. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and watching these guys race tonight.
Yeah, I know that we're bummed out not to have Daniel. I know these guys, they're all used to listening to Daniel's voice here as well. So thank you for making Sam feel welcome in this race. And hey, these drivers are putting on a nice show right now. As you see a side-by-side battle between Matthew Worrell and Randall Dale. Randall a little bit newer to me, but in that number 42 Bucky's Chevrolet right there. Oh, they almost make contact as they go into 1. Or is he in a Ford? No, I'm sorry, he's in a Ford. Oof.
Yeah, the Ford. Yeah, I was about to say, it was like, oh, that's a weird looking turn 1. But yeah, that. Well, no, you may have been right. I think that was turn 1 actually.
It was turn 1. I got the truck wrong, is what it was.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that number 42 Bucky's. I've seen a lot, like ever since I started doing this stuff for SRM. I've seen a lot of different trucks, just specifically the trucks having Bucky's paint scheme. So I thought that's been a unique thing to see. As before, just doing the official series, I haven't seen a lot of Bucky's, like at all. But in these leagues, there is a lot of Bucky's paint schemes.
Oh, and I think it's fitting very well as, for a place like Texas, having as many Bucky's as they do. For that fan list in chat asking about James Wagner, he's up here in the 2nd place, fighting hard, up 3 spots from his top 5 starting spot. Have you ever been to a Bucky's, I guess, Sam, is my question.
Actually, funny you say, because over the holidays on my way back, so I'm in Tennessee, my hometown's in South Carolina, so on the way back up, I took the scenic route, if you would, through Knoxville, through Bristol and then through Knoxville, and there was a Bucky's. And mind you, it's like 3 in the morning, so I like to drive in the middle of the night. So I stopped in, got me some of the, what do you call them, like the buck nuggets, I think.
Yes,
so I had those for the first time. And that was it was a unique experience. I was mind blown on how big that place is and how many gas pumps there are. I thought that was incredible.
Yeah, that's how I felt when they opened. Oh, here we got Jason Kinney and Larry Fairman battling side by side. That's how I felt when they built the one here in Daytona, and I ended up going to it. It's like, and here they are now building the car wash next to it. So they just keep building.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's actually incredible. So you're from the Daytona area?
I'm from Orlando, but
okay.
Daytona's an hour and a half pushing it, away from me. So it's not too far, anyways.
Yeah. I've been in that area a lot, just not just for racing, but just in general.
Oh yeah, well,
get a look through the field here.
This is the hometown, and go to the Daytona 500 every year. This will be number 17 or 18, something like that.
Ooh, hey Angel, Anthony Zabala, he wants to know about the pit stop procedure, how it works, and when we should expect the drivers to take one. I think we mentioned earlier that they may or may not come in on about lap 25 as we see James Wagner actually really making a move. They're really close side by side with Christopher Barker.
this
think he's going to be able to get it done coming onto the backstretch.
I mean, you know, Chris Barker was a guy who could just dominate races. He's also unlucky to be as good as he is because he lost so many that he should have won. But James Wagoner is a guy who, you know, last season he showed his speed, a big jump in speed, but what he needed to work on was his overall run speed. You know, oh my goodness, look at that. Gets loose, gets right up on him and keeps it going. But, you know, working on his long run speed, getting the tires to be good, and he is keeping right with Barker. So what a great improvement seeing here from James Wagoner in that. But as you mentioned, we're at lap 23 now, so I'm definitely expecting here within the next 5 to 10 laps to see our first sets of green flag pit stops. I believe pit road speed is it 45?
Yeah, it's like 40, 45.
I think it's 40 or 45.
I think on the super speedways, it's 55. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I know for
yeah,
iRacing it is. I don't know if that transfers over to real life too, or not.
At least 40 to 45, we'll give or take. And right now, these guys are, I mean, coming out of the turn, they're going 160. So you can only imagine going 150.
Oh, we got a caution on track.
Oh, well, forget about. See, Andrew, this is why we don't bring it up, because you brought out the caution. Oh boy! All right, let's see what all happened here. Oh, it looks like Randall Dale. Oh, the Bucky's truck. Oh, he's
turned
around. The wrong way. Oh, he was still battling with that number 79 truck.
Yeah, Matt Worrell. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, they just came together.
Got loose and slung down.
Yeah, I think Matthew was coming up at the same time. Oh my goodness!
Impact on the wall, and then just gets clipped by Matt there.
Oh my goodness! These drivers do get one faster pair. So that'll be unfortunate for the 42. Gonna probably need it. Not sure about the 79. I think the Matt might be all right. He may not need to use it, but here we are, quarter of the way through the race, and your drivers making their way down pit lane.
Yep, here they come. So yeah, right here, most likely, since it is the first pit stop and we still got like a lot of racing left, most likely, guys, they're gonna end up taking 4 tires and a full tank of fuel. Pretty cut and dry, straightforward.
I think you hit it perfectly on the nose. It's gonna be 4 tires and fuel. I can't imagine anybody would only want right sides. I mean, no.
Maybe the last pit stop, maybe depending on what position they're running and if we're gonna take the last pit stop under caution or not. It really just comes down to that and how these drivers are thinking about their strategies long term.
There you go. Barker's gonna win that race off pit road along with James Wagoner, Chris Melton. Man, Chris Melton all the way up.
Chris Melton just jumps up he jumps up 13 spots.
He's been a man on a mission. He is quick. Last year, he came in towards the end of the season. I think he's definitely somebody who can compete for the championship. Again, he didn't get that opportunity. Wow, that was close there. They caught the pace truck in an instant. I don't even the leader wasn't ready for the pace truck. All right, here we go.
Hey,
Let's
if
go
this was
ahead.
real life, I think James Wagoner would have taken out the pace truck.
Yeah, he just might have. Wow. All right.
2012 Daytona all over again.
Oh, don't remind me. I was there for that one too.
Oh, I bet you were. How bright was that, actually, by the way? I've always wanted to ask somebody that was there. How bright was it? 'Cause on camera, it literally looked like the sun came out.
Okay, let me put it this way. I was just about to walk up out from the stands, or out from behind the stand. So I was just about to peek around the benches because I was on the backstretch at the time, just off of turn 2. And I saw just a ball of light. I was like,
whoa.
I'm not gonna lie, it freaked me the hell out. I was like, what just happened? Like, is something crazy going on, you know? And that's what ended up happening. And, you know, I was in the 9th or 10th grade at the time.
Wow.
So I stuck it out, got home by the time I got home from the traffic, it was, I will remember it to this day, it was 3:56 in the morning. I went to school the next day because I took 2 AP classes, and my teacher actually gave me extra credit for showing up, just for showing up.
Huh.
She's like, I did not expect you here today. I saw on the news this morning that the race ended at 2 in the morning, and I kind of assumed that you wouldn't be here.
Juan Pablo Mon Bonfire was his nickname.
Yeah, that was.
As
that
we
was,
got the race director in here with us right now, Paul Walters.
Race director, but race controller.
Yeah, we like race director.
Sorry.
Yeah, race control. I'm not the director. I don't pay the bills, buddy. So as you guys saw in the replay, 42 making contact with the wall, coming across the track and making some contact with the 79. And he was issued an EOL or stated as an EOL, but since he's in the pits, I'm just going to leave that alone for him. And he's pulling out as the green flag drops here on the track.
Oh, there you go. There's your answer. Thank you very much, Paul.
You're very welcome.
We got 2x2 action right here. I think we're wanting to make it 3 wide, trying to get around Chris Melton and chase down Chris Barker. Chris Barker is like actually pulling away like really fast after this restart.
Well, you can throw a blanket over this 2nd through 6th there, and Steven Shute just tags the grass a little bit. Lucky didn't have one of those Dale Jr. moments when he tagged the grass. Actually, I think it was here at Texas, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think you're right. 3 wide down by the backstretch for a second there.
3 wide down off
the turn.
Yeah, they were ready to do it. Rick Baldwin said, no, I'm good. But now he's under attack from Steven Shute in that 00 truck, who he's a fast truck as well, trying to make his way to the outside. These guys got some really good speed, and they're feeling really confident now with these fresh feel goods and, 20, 25 laps of under their belt.
Yeah, we see the double zeros kind of squeezed out outside there. Everybody else kind of went single file. He's going to try to jump back in here and then maybe set himself up to make a move. Look how he's trying to set it up. All of his moves to the outside. That's interesting for Texas.
Yeah, he's working that outside really well. I mean, just like you said, interesting for Texas. So Steven Shute, I told you, that's a guy who's fast. He knows how to make it work. I mean, he's making a pass on Chris Melton, who Chris Melton has marched his way through the field.
Yeah, he's making this pass like really cleanly right now. I think he's just going to be ahead of him just a little bit.
You got the momentum off of the high side. It's going to give it to him as they go into 3, and he'll jump right to... no, he's going to stay high. Now, I wonder, though, is this also going to wear his tires any extra, though? Because you typically want to be in the rubber, but I guess also you're not in the dirty air. I feel like maybe there's a, give or take.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say it cancels it out, but I don't think it does because Texas is just so brutal on tires in these turns, especially 3 and 4. 3 and 4 going into them is it just eats away at your tires.
Exactly. That's why I'm and you see him, and he's carrying that momentum too. I can only imagine that if we could see his telemetry, it's just green. There's nothing else, because he's got a run on Jimmy Rowdy right now, and Jimmy Rowdy's nephew joins us in chat every week as well as Kick-Ass Duke. So we appreciate him coming back this week as well.
Yeah, he's making a move right now on Rowdy right now. He's gonna probably try to get by him here before they get to the front stretch. And yep, he did. He got by him.
Keep an eye on Steven Shute here. I know we went green probably about 4 or 5 laps ago. So I'm interested to see now over the next 5 to 7 laps, because as we talked about earlier, it's just after 10 laps, somewhere between 12 to 15, where if you have been working it hard, is where you're really going to start feeling it in those tires.
Yeah, so he may end up falling back a little bit after a while if he keeps this up for like another, I would say, like 5 laps or so.
Here it is, Rick Baldwin now with the number 99. Rick is just kind of falling back. I don't know, is he like an ultra tire save mode or something?
Hey, maybe he knows something that we don't about these trucks on a long stint.
Well, that's why I always joke. That's why I'm up here in the booth and not racing.
Yeah, I try to use some of the experience I have racing previously to try and maybe figure out what these guys are doing, and I've been able to guess it perfectly before, but sometimes you just gotta sit back and watch and see what happens over the course of the race.
The only thing I had for these guys was Dover last season for their finale, only because it's my favorite track and car combination. As you see, we got a battle for the lead as they catch this lap truck of the 42 with Randall Dale. James Wagoner is aggressive on the back bumper, the 46, and a caution's out. I wonder if Randall went an extra lap down there. I think he may have been just in front of the leader, maybe according to the last scoring loop. More interested for him in keeping his lap. It looks like Chris Ramsey was the one that was involved in this one.
Let's see what happened there. On the front stretch, going into turn 1.
Is he going to have a little help? No, he got loose.
Oh, yeah, he did have a lot of help, actually, by the 25.
But did he get loose right before?
I think he did start to get loose and backed off on the throttle, which is what you're supposed to do. That is the right answer. And I think the 25 was just so close he wasn't able to react fast enough.
I think you hit it perfectly on the dot.
This is not one of those situations where I think we can point fingers at anybody.
That is true. However, this league, every caution, if it's not most of the time, they're going to get the penalty. So I'm interested to see if he will. Now, look at this. Chris Melton has actually decided to come down pit lane.
It's maybe a fuel strategy thing. It may be a fuel strategy thing.
It's exactly. No tires.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yep. So we are like way still early in this race to be getting tires right now for a second time. So he's definitely probably going to fill up with fuel. Same thing with this truck. Well, no, he's the one that spun around.
That is correct. Let's see. They get 4 total tire sets, so including the one they started on. So that averages about 25 laps a set. So actually, the last time they came in was a perfect time to come in for tires. So coming in, topping off for fuel, I wonder if that fuel window is probably at 30 laps for these guys, or they can probably stretch it to 30, where Chris Melton figured if I come in and we go green because we've been going green, I can make this on one more stop.
Race control is up here in the booth once again.
All right, so I reviewed this. The 13 did get loose. I did watch it in slow motion. 13 did get loose, getting contacted by the 25. The 25 had nowhere to go, so we are calling this a racing incident. There was no penalties issued on this caution.
Yep, I called it there, Angel.
Yeah, you did. I'm over here. It's because every single time I called it last year, I was wrong. But again, that's why I don't drive and I don't race control.
And you really gotta like look at it up close, like just like kind of look at it, see what happened, and then maybe kind of like almost guess. Really,
it is an educated guess, but it's also training the eye to look for certain things.
Don't tell the people of the series that I run, or else they probably don't want me reviewing anything anymore.
Well, that's why you're the broadcaster and I'm the race controller.
Exactly, and then anybody who does race in my series doesn't watch here anyway. So
yeah, there you go. We'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you, Paul. Thank you. I try to make it. I try to make it a point not to mix the two of them, just in case.
Something to mention here, Angel. I don't know if anyone else does this, but when I go to races in person, you know, most people are like, oh, I want that driver to win, I want this driver to win, or I'm only going to watch my driver on track. But I watch everything just to see how drivers are driving, because I try to take what they're doing and put it in iRacing, and it usually works. So I'm able to spot stuff like that and be able to make an educated guess on what race control would most likely end up judging that off of. Based on stuff I've seen IRL.
Well, when we went to Miami for Homestead for SRM again, when you're standing on pit lane and looking directly, like just straight across into turn 4, seeing the trucks get loose coming into 4 and just trying to come off of it, oh, it is such a cool experience. It is exactly the way you described watching the trucks and how they drive. to apply it.
Yeah.
Here. It is an amazing experience to see.
We're lined up here. Lights on the pace truck are out, so we should be going green once they come back around to the front stretch, ladies and gentlemen.
This midlife crisis guy sure loves to hear I'm the nephew to a 20-something. Hey, you know what? You're still the nephew at the end of the day. Just like I tell my niece. You may be a teenager now, but I'm still always going to see you as the 5-year-old. She hates it. That's why every birthday I was like, okay, so you're turning 5, right? You gotta be the annoying uncle. Getting ready to go green flag racing here. Pace truck getting ready to go down pit lane. Chris Barker, he's got the lead here. He's got James Wagoner to his outside. James Wagner's been aggressive all over his back bumper this entire time. However, he'll have to restart from his outside here. How does he do as they get ready to go to the Geico restart zone? They go up to the gears. Chris Barker's up and away. James Wagner's going to have a tiny bit of wheel spin, and that'll allow Steven Shu to clear for second. They'll clear for third for James Wagner. It'll be a battle for fourth as they go into one.
Steven Shu already is like being super aggressive on the back of Christopher Barker. He's already going to try to go for it. However, I feel like in the next few laps, his tire wear is really going to kick in, and we're going to see him fall back. That will allow James Wagoner to take back that second place, since he's already about to make a run on him.
Well, I think Steven Shu's only chance was to go out and get the lead, so that way he can get some clean air on the front nose of that Toyota Tundra. But yeah, you're right. James Wagoner all over the back bumper, looking to the inside here in 1 and 2. Are they going to make contact? Is he going to slide up a little bit? He slides up ever so slightly. Steven Shu going to give him the room as they come off of 2.
They are super close side by side. You could probably reach out from the passenger side of Wagner's truck and probably maybe just push the 00.
Might not be a bad idea. Give him a little shove. Get him away from you. Maybe in the direction of the wind. Get him a little loose if it helps. Whatever you got to do and get out there. But now the 30's got a 29 of Jimmy Rowdy behind him, trying to push him into 1 and 2. And then Chris Barker is still right there. They're 3 wide for second. Almost 3 wide. Oh, no. Okay, they're going to stay. They're going to go back to double wide here. Going into
Rowdy
2.
kind of backed off. He was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that right now. But he's definitely going to be looking for these two to maybe make contact with each other and just slide down the inside and make that move on the number 30, James Wagner.
Season 1 and 2.
Trying to squeeze ahead of Steven Shu.
James Wagner wants to take the lead in the process as well, but Jimmy Rowdy's the guy in seasons 1 and 2. He would have taken him 3 wide and kept it there. Does a great job. Now they're going to clear in front of Steven Shu for James Wagner. It's a side-by-side battle for third as James sets his sight on Chris Barker.
Oh, just a little bit of a wiggle for James Wagner, just a tiny bit. That kind of spooked Steven Shu just a tad bit as we see him kind of just slide up just a tad to try to avoid that. As now we got Jimmy Rowdy is way low, right on the bottom of Steven Shu, just trying to get around him whenever he can. Probably going to make that move in this next turn here in 3 and 4.
Man, I'm going to jump to this camera here because we have first through what I believe is 9th here, and there's almost a blanket. You could have first wreck and take out the top 9 at one instant. I mean, everybody is so close on top of each other, and we're just about to hit the halfway mark here in about 5 laps.
I noticed something, Angel. These guys are slinging themselves from the start-finish line down to that first little part of the grass, and they are really hitting it hard. Like almost everybody is. See the 29 gets super loose here, catches it, stays straight, still fighting for 3rd place here. Pretty good racing. We've got James Wagoner making a crazy move to the outside going into turn 1 on Christopher Barker. He's probably going to get it done here on the backstretch. It may not happen. They're side by side.
Side by side for the lead as they go here into turn number 3. Can James Wagner pick him off? Does he got to continue the battle here as they come off of turn number 4?
Rowdy's looking. He keeps looking to the inside. He's definitely not trying to make any moves to the outside. You can see him peeking around the truck, or the 46 truck, trying to see if he can make a move really fast. You see the 46 kind of get a little loose on the exit of that turn.
Yeah, Steven Shu a little loose himself. He's going to make slight contact with Rowdy. They're going to keep it good. James Wagoner with the power move to start season number 3. He goes around the outside of last year's champion to take the lead here at Texas. Looking to continue to move forward as now last year's champion Barker. He's, I don't know if the track has changed a little bit and it is not suiting his style, but these guys are all over his back bumper. He's going to slide up here through 1 and 2. The 00 has to check up. Here comes Jimmy Rowdy with a run down the bottom.
Yeah, Rowdy's definitely still looking. He's just waiting. I feel like he's going to get it here in one of these laps.
Oh, he's loose.
Just start to chase down.
He's loose and he's
James
still
Wagoner.
keeping the throttle in there.
He's still gaining on him. This is incredible.
This is great. I'm telling you, Texas is fun again since this oval update, because they had this race. It was the first race after the oval update, and it has been great. Look at this. These guys are side by side by side, keeping it together. Look at the racing that we're getting here, and we're about to hit the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, these guys should be coming in for a green flag pit stop here soon. That is, if these guys can just stay off of each other here. They're getting like closer and closer to each other, trying to make these passes lap after lap, as Christopher Barker's starting to make a little bit of a comeback here on James Wagoner first once again.
Yeah, it seems to be, I'm going to guesstimate somewhere in the next 10, probably, maybe pushing 15 laps, or probably about the next 10 laps.
15 is pushing it, Angel. 15 is really pushing it. I would say more like 12.
Well, you know, maybe you did some fuel saving under the caution. Who knows? You never know. But we'll say 10. We'll say 10 laps to be safe. But the question is, Chris Melton, who did not take tires but fuel, is he going to stay out or is he going to come in? Right now, he's up to the 14th position, so he's really gained maybe about 6 or maybe 5, 6 spots.
I'm not sure. That's a good question. These guys are just stuck with each other side by side, swapping out for first every now and then. But yeah, like the top 7 are just stuck with each other right now.
Yeah, and then, Jimmy Rowdy a little bit tight going into 1. The 19 of Rick Baldwin, who's made his way back up through the field here. We talked about him doing some major tire saving, and you said it best. Maybe he knows something that we don't, because here he is. But he's going to want to use those fresher tires a little bit more. He's going to have to push a little bit harder to get by. And I give it, Steven Shu is hanging on strong still on the outside.
Yeah, he is. I thought he would be falling way back by now, maybe even way further back. But no, he's proved me wrong. I don't know. Maybe he also knows something that we don't. Because he is just still very competitive with these guys up here up in the front.
I mean, and these guys they're over a second slower, so I mean the time it is dropping off. It's not like there's no drop off. They're over a second off of their fastest laps right now.
Hey, maybe every single one of them has equal amount of tire fall off, and they've been pushing at different parts of the track than everybody else.
Oh, that's true.
That's why they're still stuck together.
Well, I'll tell you this much. James Wagner's the guy who's loving it, because look at this. He's now pulled off to a 7/10 of a second lead, almost 7.5 as these guys continue to battle for second. So 45, 46 laps to go in this race, and he's got himself a nice lead. For James, with this, Jimmy Rowdy just gets, that 29 is exact, just loves to Kevin Harvick that line. He puts that number, he puts that paint scheme to good use.
Yeah, he does. Running Busch Light on the side too.
Yeah, he switched over to this paint scheme as soon as Kevin Harvick announced his retirement. Wow. Barker
really
was loose. Great save there. So I go back to Chris Melton, where honestly, you've made your bed, you pit, and now you're further back than where you were originally. So stay out, you know. Maybe there's a caution that comes out. These guys would still have to pit. Well, I don't know. That's a good question.
James Wagoner, he's like 1 second ahead of everybody else.
Well, these guys keep battling the way they do. Oh, Jimmy Rowdy, he has a couple of issues like that every once in a while. First time we're seeing it here today. this first pack is spread out a little bit, but man, they're still right on top of each other. Here comes the 96 of Matthew Ace. We have not talked about him much at all today, and really not much at all through the second half of last season. Kind of just disappeared, and it's nice to see him making his way back up here. Also in a new paint scheme, good looking paint scheme here in his phone F-150.
Really quick, Angel. Is Matthew Barker, who is Ace, by the way, and Christopher Barker related?
They are not.
Really?
Yeah.
That is such a unique last name to not be related to each other. Huh.
I know. And the funny part is I know another Barker that I race with that doesn't know either one of these two.
Really? That's even crazier.
Yeah, Daniel Barker is his name.
Huh. These guys are starting to get a little bit spread out again. They're still close to each other on their bumpers, but it's not true side-by-side racing like it has been for like the last... How many laps has it been? Like 10, 15 laps?
20 laps, actually.
20?
Well, yeah, it's been...
I was so intently into it, I didn't even notice how many laps it's been. Yes, lap 60 of 100.
Yeah, because if I'm not... Let me double-check, actually. Chris Melton... Yeah, because we came back green about lap 39, almost lap 40.
Yeah. Wow.
So... Okay, well, actually... So that means these guys are gotta be close here soon. Oh, here it is, James Wagner from the lead.
As you say that, they're coming in now. Some of them are, not all of them.
All
James
right,
Wagner, Steven Shu, they're coming in.
I love this aggressive call by James Wagner. He did not let somebody from behind him come in and beat him to pit lane. He said, "I'm the leader. I've got a 7 to 8 tenths of a second lead. I'm gonna pit first, and I want to make sure that I still have the lead coming off pit lane."
Makes me wonder what Rowdy's going to do. Is he going to go ahead and come in the pits like right now, or is he going to run it for just a few more laps?
He's slowing up.
There he is.
Yep.
Ricky Baldwin's coming in right behind him as well, followed by Ace and I don't know who that is back there behind Ace.
Daniel Love in that number 71 truck. So Chris Melton and Matthew Gall are out. Chris Melton is the one who had taken fuel on the previous stop. Matthew Gall, Jeff Scott, Brandon Hinton, all of them had last pit on the lap 25 caution. So Chris Melton can go at least another, probably, I'll say maybe 7 to 10 laps pushing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pushing it, yeah.
But if he can push it another 7 laps, I think that would almost guarantee he can make it to the end of the race from there.
Yeah, because it'll be almost lap number 70 by then. Almost.
And he'll have
just under it.
Fresher tires for longer while those guys are battling and using it up. This might... I mean, but also, he was 3 seconds behind the lead. It was like 2.8, 2.9. And I made sure to remember his before everybody started to pit. So we'll have to see how does this cycle back out for him. He'll be really behind because of the old tires, but... One last, the one last stop. We'll see what he can do with it. Because everybody still has to pit one more time from here.
Yeah.
Only him and Pete Dillon, actually, who's the number 63 truck, a newer driver as well to this series in his Ford. He was running out in the back, so those are the only 2 drivers who really could essentially make this work. And here comes
something that I noticed is that the entire field is American based except for Larry Fairman, who's based out of Canada. I think that's interesting.
Larry's are one of 2 typical Canadians in the field. And I'm now currently drawing a blank on our other Canadian. Oh, here comes Chris Melton. Man, I wonder if he can stretch it 35 laps. I feel like he has to be able to. Some of these guys really stretched it pretty far.
They're definitely going to have to be easy on these tires going into, well, both, or all 4 turns, really. If not, it's not going to be good. These 2 are, like, going at it already right out of the pit box.
Wow, hell, yeah, they are. These guys are battling hard. James Wagner putting the block on Chris Barker, and that's what you got to do. You know, last year's champion, you had him beat in that last run, but you don't know what he may or may not have for you for this run. So, I don't care if there's 35 laps to go. You stay out there, James Wagner. You fight as hard as you can for this win. Here they are. They've already passed Chris Melton pretty easily as he's coming off of pit lane now.
Yeah, Christopher Barker is just really trying to hammer at him, put the pressure on him. He's like right on his back bumper. He's going to try to make that move down the inside. James Wagoner is going to respond by just trying to squeeze just a little bit of like half that truck on that inside line, the other half on the midline. That way he cannot be able to squeeze by him at all.
That's a respectful driver who's trying to still be, you know, aggressive. Like, he knows under most circumstances, James Wagoner would have gave him the room. But he also knows how important it is to stay out in front of him. Wow.
Loose there. I almost thought he was going to slam into the outside wall on the backstretch.
And something happened
Pretty
to
good
Rowdy
catch right there.
on pit lane. He was on there for an extra 30 seconds, so I had to assume a pit lane violation coming on. So he just saw him coming out. Unfortunate for him to have that happen to him. You know, it took him until his season 2 to finally win a race for Jimmy Rowdy. He was so close on so many occasions, and then went and won back-to-back races. So this is a guy who does know speed, and this is an unfortunate way for his race to possibly end here after showing some nice top 5 speed there.
You know, it's that stuff like that. It just happens. It's a part of racing. Like, that's something that can be said for a lot of things that happen on track. You know, it's just that's racing, but that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I mean, I have thrown away my fair share of victories due to green flag pit stops. And it seems to be my favorite track in Kansas. I've done it twice there, where as a leader, I had an 8-second lead at one point, and I threw it away. So,
wow.
Yeah, I threw it away by spinning coming down the pit lane. So, we'll go. Well, when it comes, we got a nice little battle right here between Brandon Hinton, Chad Hawkins, and Jeff Scott. And then
Truck battle.
The number 66 truck of Jason Kinney. He actually just came off of pit lane
3 wide.
laps ago.
Almost 3 wide.
Yeah, he's
super loose.
Jason's got the fresher tires as a lap truck, so he's trying to be respectful and get past these guys because he's faster, but also like he knows he's a lap truck, so there's no need to necessarily go by them. So I'm telling you, man, the respect is genuinely shown as Chris Barker looks to the outside and gets super loose through 1 and 2 as he was really trying to put the throttle down to get to the right rear of James Wagoner. Oh, you know what? We got to jump on board here with Chris Barker. Oh,
yeah, let's see this.
We can't jump on board because my field of view is at 45 degrees, so you absolutely cannot see his steering.
Oh yeah.
Sorry everybody. I've got a single monitor for racing. I have triple for broadcasting, but only single for racing. And we work on a shoestring budget here. So,
Christopher Barker dipped down like pretty low coming into turn 2. I thought that was interesting. Or turn 4, sorry.
He's trying everything he can right now.
He's trying to find speed to get around them. James Wagoner's just putting on one hell of a defense.
And he's doing it in a respect. Oh, here it is. Chris Barker's got the run here through 1 and 2. He's looking to the inside.
Does in the turns.
James Wagoner is not going to be able to put the block on him, so can James Wagoner pin him low? He's not gonna give him room off of turn 4. Chris Barker's not going to complete the pass, but let's see what he does here in 1 and 2 as he will have that preferred lane in turns 1.
Just know turns 1 and 2 is a little bit wider, or not wider, but a little bit more flat than 3 and 4. So James Wagoner is really going to have a little bit more advantage running the outside than he would in these next 2 turns, just because of that.
Oh, that is close. They are side by side, and I'll tell you this much: who wants to see this? And that is Steven Shue right behind. He's got a great. Now this we will briefly jump on board for because
got a caution on track.
No, come on, of course, right when I want to go on board. We're going to show the battle from his view, but alrighty.
On the restart, we can. On the restart.
This also does put us into our fuel window. Oh, Randall Dale not having a great debut here for himself in the Ruff-Neck Racing Series.
Smoke coming out of the back of the truck.
So that looks like a blown engine, and after a possible fast repair used in the first time around.
See what happened.
Will probably be done for the race. He's right here with race admin Tim Richardson. Tim looks like running the
Went
inside.
super high. Yeah, he just went way too high. The 29
gets tagged in it as well.
29's got left damage. Hits him again, and that just turns Randall right into the inside wall as well.
I think
so he went for one hell of a ride.
That would have been the final damage for, I would say that for number 42. I apologize there.
So that 29 was Jimmy Rowdy, who was up in the front several laps ago, battling our leaders, mainly for third.
So, my question here, we have 25 to go. Everybody's going to have essentially an extra set. Well, actually, no. If you pit
Where
here,
did Wagoner go? Did he jump in the pits?
Came down and pit, and he took his final set of tires.
Did he take fuel, though?
Yeah, 15 seconds. So he definitely filled up. And
Huh. This is an interesting strat, because it bumps him back down to 8th at the moment.
well, if we go green, the race is his.
Race control has jumped in.
So you guys were looking for the 30 truck. He is back in 8th currently. But anyway, back to the race control part of things. So the 42 made contact with the wall and got loose and connected with the 29. I almost said the 30. And he will be issued on this. Depending on how long he stays in the pits, we may just, mark it down in the notebook and not issue the penalty on track that he's not held longer into the pits.
That's fair. Paul, we appreciate. Thank you for coming in. These drivers are going to have a good one. Paul, you're in here as race control. How do you feel like this race is going to finish here over the next 24 laps?
To be honest, these guys have been racing pretty clean this whole race, and I'm hoping they keep it clean, but I have a feeling this race has turned into a shootout. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these drivers react to that. And I'm kind of curious. I'm hoping that they keep it clean like they've been doing the whole race, but you just never know.
I think that's a fair assumption. Paul, we appreciate you coming in. If we don't chat with you again this evening, it's because we're having a checkered flag after this one. So we appreciate you coming in.
No problem. Thank you for having me, Angel. Sam, it's been great working with you. And we'll see you guys in the next race if I don't see you before the end of this one.
Always love having our race control jump in and chat with us. Sam, typically, this is a league where we really love to try to get as much people chatting with us. We try to get as many interviews as possible, but there's been so many green flag races or green flag runs that we've not really had the chance. And I also have a rule as a broadcaster, unfortunately, that anything under 25 laps, give or take, we do not interview anybody on the lead lap. So
yeah, that's a pretty good rule to have, honestly.
Well, yeah, I got blamed so many times for the broadcaster curse that I decided that I implemented that rule.
There was a race that I was calling. I think it was like my third race calling something for SRM. We tried to pull a driver into the. It was during a pacing period, but I don't think the driver was expecting it. So when we were like, "Hey, can you hear us?" This is the booth. He kind of got spooked and slapped the outside wall.
Oh my gosh!
So that was a little bit embarrassing on our end.
Oh my gosh! That's
I don't know. I have
me.
to go back and find that.
That should be on our bloopers.
yeah.
Hey, Carlos Mendoza, thanks for joining us. I was almost wondering if you'd join us in chat tonight. He was someone that joined us constantly last season as well, so we appreciate that. Always rooting on his buddy, the number 71 of Daniel Love. This might be the last one, Sam. Take us away for this restart.
pace truck's in. These guys are going to come up. Christopher Barker is going to take us off from the Geico restart zone. Green flag's in the air. He's got Steven Shu on his outside in second. And Jeffrey Ledford kind of came out of nowhere, it seems. He's right behind them in that 01 truck. Christopher Barker got some really clean air at the moment, followed by all these trucks behind them.
Do not let the sudden appearance of Jeffrey Ledford mean that he is not quick. He's a guy who has also won many a times here in the Ruff-Neck Racing Series. He's a guy who knows how to win, and it's no surprise to me whatsoever that he's waited until the very end to throw his name into the hat. Now 21 laps to go. He'll be looking to come home with a victory. But hey, 21 laps is a lot of racing. And really, you got to see, can these guys save tire well enough? We saw that Christopher Barker really kind of suffered on the long run.
Yeah, something I want to point out, Ledford, it looks like, I've seen this before in other leagues, there's always like those one or two drivers that you don't really see much at all. Like, they kind of just hang back and mind their own business, do their own thing, and then late in the race, they just come out of nowhere, and it's just battling for the lead. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it looks like Ledford's little strategy that he's got going on might work out in his favor, at least for a top 5.
I'll tell you someone who's not content with only a top 5. That's the number 30 of James Wagoner. You see him all over aggressive on the back bumper of Steven Shu. He's looking to make some time around him, but Steven is putting the block every chance he gets. James is going to peak low. Not enough room as they dive down into turn number 1. You'll have to be patient for a little bit longer as they'll still side by side for a second. Oh, little contact! James Wagner
is gonna lose it!
Did they save this?
It. Whoa! There's a really
no!
Wagner's at the inside wall. Commentators curse, Angel. These guys are still bumping each other, trying to get around these trucks that just slammed into the wall.
They made it work, but the caution will come out. I think it's fair. Everybody was just a little bit too crazy and kind of, slowing down, checking up. They almost
could have been a lot bigger crash. That could have been a lot bigger crash.
Unbelievable that it wasn't. All right. Well, let's go ahead and go back into that one.
Need to settle down for a second there.
Whew, tell me about it.
This changes a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, you were like trying to be patient. Then next thing you know, the 00 is just going around.
Let's go back for just a moment. I want to get this view of it.
The 01 could not have been in a more perfect spot on the outside. Just high enough, too.
Yep, exactly. So we're going to kind of just slow motion at the 00. He is there. He's going to peek to his outside. I think the 30 wanted, I think, to probably go 3 wide on the 00 and the 01. And the 00 probably, don't know, he's just a little bit slower than Wagoner was. So I think it just looks like he timed it wrong and they went for a ride. Oh, there it is.
Second of all, the 71 or the 49 and 71, amazing reaction times from both of them. Look at the 71 just slam on the brakes. He slammed on the brakes hard, but not enough to lock him up.
Same with Baldwin.
They both were paying really close attention.
Now, for those who didn't pit that last time around, they have the opportunity to get 4 fresh feel goods. Chris
It looks like everybody is.
That. Yeah, looks like the top 6 decide not to. Top 6. That's
Well.
Ace, Daniel Love, Chad.
There's
Hawkins.
17 laps to go. This caution is gonna change a lot.
Well, and only 5 or 6 laps more or less, or even then, not even that many laps of green flag laps. So I don't really feel like these guys are going to be at that bad of an advantage, to be honest.
So something about Texas, especially for the guys who just took tires. I've noticed that it doesn't matter what car you're driving, it takes about 4.5 to 5 laps for those tires to really kick in when you're at race pace. And then that way, they're going to be a lot faster than anyone else who has older tires.
Yep, the older tire. That's going to be the tough part. I mean, and really, you said the top 6 with what's probably going to be maybe 14 to go when we go green flag here. I honestly, 5 guys behind you, I feel a little bit more comfortable about that. I would feel comfortable as Matthew Ace, I would say. But, man, you really never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We're actually going to go ahead and take our one and only brief commercial break here of the evening, everybody. So we'll be right back. Hang on tight. We got some great action here to finish off this race. We'll be right back, everybody. We are back live, everybody, here from Texas Motor Speedway from Fort Worth, Texas. I am joined here with my broadcast partner, Sam Frazier. Sam, we've had some fantastic action here in tonight's race. What can we expect to see here over the final 14 laps once we go green flag racing again?
Well, with 10 laps to go, the guys who did pit with for fresh tires, they're gonna be making some crazy runs on the top 9, I believe, really. So it's just the whole field is just going to be chaotic for the last 10 laps. So that's something that we need to be looking forward to. It's going to be a very crazy finish.
Oh, okay, that's not supposed to come up here. All right, let's go ahead and... This race is trying to end before we're ready to.
Huh.
iRacing.
Lights are out on the pace truck.
Oh, no, go ahead, please.
Oh, I will. Lights are out on the pace truck, ladies and gentlemen. Matthew Ace Barker, and the guy could restart his own. Green flags in the air. He has an amazing takeoff right there. Daniel Love right behind him, followed by Chad Hawkins in the 84. These guys are already at it in the back.
Guys are at it as much as they possibly can, but guess what? The battle's gonna be really just this giant hornet's nest. Oh no! And
it looks like the 01. The 01 into the outside wall.
And oh, here it is. You got a big one here. All right, let's see what all happened.
Wow.
Oh, the number 99 of Larry Fairman looks like he was involved somehow in this. 66 was really loose behind. Oh, this is happening way ahead of him, though. Hold on. Just a little bit far back.
Well,
definitely starts here with that Milwaukee truck up there. Definitely got a really bad restart. That's the number 26 of Jonathan Vandenberg. And, yeah, there's netcode. I think he could have given probably a little bit more room, but definitely netcode would have been involved in that. And, oh, goodness. And it was just from there. It's chaos. I'll tell you one driver who doesn't probably mind seeing these cautions, and that's going to be Matthew Ace.
Hey, yeah, definitely.
And what my question is going to be here, Sam, and I know I ask a ton, but I feel like it's constantly changing as to what your next plan is. Or do you think constantly changing is why I can't win a race and why I just need to stick with what you do in the first place?
Uh, I think you just gotta stick with what you got.
I think that's true, right? They say just like they say, once you've made your bed, you gotta lay in it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know my thing I used to do when I was doing some league races is that I would literally get a notebook, a big notebook, like a college rule notebook, and I would write out when I would pit, what I would take, and for like different positions on track. So I would literally have just like a handful of strategies, like for different things that may happen,
That's smart.
just readily available.
That is very smart to do.
I never ended up winning any oval races, but I did win a few sports car races. The league that I was in, they would do NASCAR and a IMSA type deal,
Oh, nice.
different days. This is pretty interesting stuff.
And just like these drivers do here on Mondays nights, they have a Gen 6 league, and that's something that I've done recently, and it's been enjoyable. I forgot how different the Gen 6s and the next gens are. And the Gen 6s is like, you got to remember to really be able to save your tires.
Yeah.
But I love saving tire. I love a nice, good, long run like that. Oh, once you get into that kind of, rhythm, that momentum runs, oh, those are my favorites. That's why you get tracks like, where I was mentioning, like Dover, or, a track like Darlington, where you're racing the track and you're racing, you really are just working off of a rhythm. And those are the fun races to me.
Yeah. We got race control with us once again.
Right, so I've got 2 cautions to discuss. Got a little busy there for a minute.
It did indeed, Paul.
The first caution, the 01, checked up in front of the 30. The 30 just did not have time to react, getting into the right rear of the 00 and spinning him around, which also sent him up into the 46. There was no penalties issued there. This incident we are taking to post race, so it can be reviewed. There's just no way to tell clearly with one set of eyes what happened there. So we're gonna take it to the admin team to be reviewed for post race.
I think that's pretty fair, especially here with what will be 9 laps to go. You might have a couple of really, really angry drivers. If you have to
they're
penalize
definitely
them here.
Correct.
They're definitely
correct.
going to be sitting on the opposite ends of the Waffle House from you tonight after this race.
It's easier
Well, yeah.
to hand that penalty afterwards, than during the race, because at least during the race they can say they still were given the opportunity to try.
Yeah,
Well,
that is
and
true.
the other thing is you've got to remember, if I can't make a clear decision, I've got to err on the side of caution, because you don't want to make, like you said, you don't want to make people mad, even though you're a race controller.
That's your job.
And right, you can love to hate me or hate to love me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm the race controller. But in the aspect of fairness, even though I'm gonna be harsh and be fair, I have to be fair, and I can't make a clear and concise call, so I have to take it to the admin team for post race.
There you go. We appreciate it, Paul. Pace truck is coming down pit lane. Our race control is always going to give us the absolute best that we could possibly request in terms of ideas and what's happening. But here it is. Pace truck is down. They're up through the gears. Matthew Asen is number 96 Ford. He's up and away. He's cleared for first as they dive down here into turn 1. It's a battle for third, actually, as Daniel Love in that number 71 truck is also cleared for second.
Yeah, Matt Warwall back there, I saw him kind of giving a little push. The 70, or no, that's not the 71. That is the 84. My fault. these guys almost go 3 wide coming out of this turn. They are, oh, I think they were maybe 3 wide in the middle of that turn.
Almost right behind. It's just hard to see. Do you want to watch the leader, or do you want to watch these guys 3 wide? Almost 4 wide behind. The 79 gets loose.
79's loose.
Oh,
he's going into the inside wall, taking somebody with him. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's trucks everywhere.
Multiple drivers. The 29 right behind as well. I'm sorry, the 26, I think.
There was a lot. There was like 6 trucks like that crashed right there, coming out of turn 2.
Man, one of those situations, you know, they say cautions breed cautions, and it's exactly what happened here. So let's try to go back.
Paula's gonna have his hands full.
We're gonna go first with the 26 truck here.
See Warwall way up there.
Yes, this happened behind the fact. He was loose.
Oh, the 26. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yep, and that's what that
Oh,
happened.
the 99 had nowhere to go. He could not escape that.
And then, in front of that...
So it was not a situation of a chain reaction like I thought it was when it started happening.
Yeah, so I saw the 26 first actually get loose, and then I saw this incident happening when you called it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw the 79 get really loose, and I was like, oh, he might catch it, but he needs to be careful.
I don't know why I thought.
And then he didn't catch it and just kept going around, and I was like, oh, this is going to get ugly.
I thought the 70... I don't know why I thought the 01 was involved in that for some reason. I thought he got destroyed, but...
Is that the 00 then?
It might have been the 00. So he gets loose in front of the 72.
Let's see. Yeah, the 72, he just bounces off. Oh, it was the 00.
Steven Shue.
And the 66, too.
Oh, my goodness.
And remember, these are the guys that took those newer tires, too.
Yep, they put
So
themselves
those
in that...
tires are definitely cold.
And you put yourself almost in a bad spot sometimes, so... I look back to, like, Chris Barker. I know he's got fresh feel goods, but it's 6 laps to go now. It'll be 5 the next time they come around, and I'm pretty sure they'll get 2 to green. So what will we be at? 4 laps?
Yeah.
4 laps to
Duke
go.
in the Duke in the YouTube comment says, "Rip Jimmy." Yeah.
Yep. He's done.
Rowdy's been going through it like the entire race, really. Or at least the second half, not the entire race, but obviously, but the second half definitely.
Yeah, he's not had himself an enjoyable one, which is, man, that's the unfortunate of racing, right? You got a fast truck, you get up there, something happens, you get put behind, you get caught up in somebody else's stuff, and it can be frustrating from there. What I am interested, though, is that Chris Barker has now made his way up to the 4th position with those more recent feel goods. But I wonder if the the heat cycle on these things, do you think that's going to have affected him enough to even the tires out just yet, or do you think he doesn't have any advantage at all because of how few laps they had previously?
I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen, here at Texas at least, seen the other tracks, not cookie cutter tracks, but bigger and shorter tracks, where there's been a situation like this and the driver sitting like in the top 5 with the people in front of him on older tires. But on a cookie cutter track, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Never seen this before at a track like this.
Oh, I love when we get situations like this. You're right, they can be rare, but it really can attest to see what can you do, what have you done. Did you save your tires at least beforehand if you had this idea that you were going to stay out? And again, only a couple laps, so there's only so much you can do. But, I mean, 4 laps of running hard to 4 laps of backing off and, trying to save can make a whale of a difference, especially in the final 4 laps if you're going, hard as you can, balls to the wall to try to win this race.
If this was something like Bristol or Dover or I'm trying to think here, I would even go as far as say Lucas Oil. I would say that Christopher Barker would definitely have some sort of an advantage, especially in the turns. But with Texas being how it is, a little bit of a flatter turn 1 and 2 and a steeper turn 3 and 4, it's hard to tell. We're just gonna have to sit back and watch.
Well, and that's and I like that you bring up, you know, the other parts of the track, but you know, Matthew Ace hasn't necessarily been up front where he's not been battling hard for the lead, and compared to Barker, so Barker's also got, you know, that under his belt, so he knows what to do when he gets there. The question is, can he get there, as he's gonna also have to maneuver past Daniel Love and Chad Hawkins.
We'll have to see. If I were him, I would try to make a move on the outside of 1 and 2,
But
and then if it's available, sling yourself down to the inside while you're on the backstretch for 3 and 4. If there's an opening, which with this many laps to go, it's probably not going to be open at all.
you're gonna have to make an opening. But see, here's the thing, where you also have to be careful of going too high in 3 and 4, because if you go too high and you have to let off, you've lost all your momentum. I mean, and that's it. You're probably not gonna have a chance to come back around and win it unless they screw up in front of you. So
Yep.
you're 1 and 2 on your restart, and on the next lap, they will be every bit as vital as the initial restart.
Yeah, super critical turns. We got race control here with us once more.
We had 2 incidents during that caution. 79 got loose, making contact with the 72 and spinning into the wall. 79 will be issued an EOL, but it looks like he's still in the pits, so we're going to waive that. We're just going to document it. Also, the 26, trying to avoid it all, got a little loose, making contact with a couple other vehicles, and we're considering that a racing incident.
All right, racing incident.
Definitely fair enough to me.
As we go back, green flag racing. Matthew Ace is going to get a fantastic restart. 3 to go. He's cleared for first as Chris Melton and Christopher Barker making contact there for the 4th position. But guess what? That's exactly what that 96 wants as they continue to stay side by side. Melton's going to get to the inside now of Chad Hawkins. 2 laps to go as they cross the line.
I would want to be Barker on the outside of that turn, like I was saying, kind of causing him to lose a little bit of time. He might make it up on the outside of these turns. I don't think he is. There's another caution on track. I don't know what for.
Oh, goodness. All right, let's see what happened.
See Christopher Barker kind of scrape the outside wall, trying to slow down.
All right, let's...
Jerome Cooper, I
Yep,
believe.
it looks like Jerome Cooper.
Number
possibly.
72 truck. What happened?
So he's right behind the 26 of Vandenberg. Let's see. Oh, is he? Okay.
Not there. Netcode.
Oh
Are you
my
kidding
gosh.
me? 26 did catch it though.
Yeah,
Actually,
so did he.
didn't hit anything, huh?
He did a great job, but wow. Oof.
That could have been worse if he slung that truck down lower.
I've had worse
Any
netcode in my
faster.
life, but wow, that was bad. All right, well, did you want to see that if you're Matthew Ace, or do you not want to see that if you're Matthew Ace? Because all that did was switch Chris Melton and Chris Barker. They switched to 4th and 5th. They didn't really make up any time.
If I'm being honest, seeing how Ace is so good on these restarts, if there is, well, does this league do they do green white checkers?
Correct. It is 2 green-white checkers here.
Okay, so if I was Ace, this is definitely in his advantage because he's super good on these restarts.
Actually,
So he has a major advantage here,
Is-
being the leader right now.
Would this be the? Is this considered a? I think this is going to be considered the first of 2 attempts.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think. Don't quote us on that.
No, don't quote us on that. But I always say that. Don't quote me for anything.
Yeah, race control. He can definitely clarify that for us whenever he jumps in here.
And then I'm just going to double check because now wait.
Paul
till-
Walters.
Let's see. That's what we're missing. We're missing Dalton Steele today. Alright, so we're gonna hold on. We'll see what it all ends up being. Until then, Again, no, we're not going to be doing any interviews, unfortunately, here towards the end of this race.
This would be a bad idea to try that right now.
Oh, no, without a doubt it would be. Let's see. Looks like 15 trucks. Yes, 15 trucks are still on the lead lap. Steven Shu is the last of those 15 trucks and actually just came down pit lane, probably trying to fix up as much of that damage as he possibly... Oh! Doesn't even have a front end. Got a modified out here.
Yeah, I noticed that on the restart.
Yeah, we got a Tour modified out here, which I'm excited to go see at New Smyrna, actually. For...
You know, I've only ever been to one modified race, and I didn't even mean to go to it.
Really?
I wanted to see late models at Nashville Fairgrounds. I didn't look at the program beforehand. I just saw, oh, they're racing. I'm gonna go see, go watch the late models around the that half mile. Pretty fun. And then all of a sudden, they're like, oh yeah, modifieds are coming on track. And I was like, modifieds? I've never seen these in person before. So that was fun.
The vintage modifieds?
I have not.
Yeah, New Smyrna Speedway has a vintage modified series. It's actually really awesome to see. And
I need to get down there to like New Smyrna and the Volusia for dirt.
Oh, Volusia's one I haven't gone to because I'm not much of a dirt guy, but it's something that I've really, really wanted to go. Because when we take the back roads up, my girlfriend and I up to the St. Augustine and Jacksonville area because we have some friends that live over there. So we love to take the back roads, and the back roads involve driving right by Volusia Speedway. So we've always said one day we're gonna be able to find time to stop in and attend a race there.
That would be fun. I want to go see mainly just sprint cars there.
Yes, exactly. That's what we've always talked about because we've got a mutual friend who actually is a former racer in the ARCA and the Truck Series for actual NASCAR, and
sorry to interrupt you here,
go ahead.
Yeah, Paul Walters, Race Control here with us once more.
Go ahead, Angel. Finish what you were saying. I've got a few moments.
My story ain't important. What do you got for us?
Your story ain't important. Every story you tell is important. Said 26 and 79. I looked at that from every angle I could. Slow motion, pause. That is that inevitable net code, and we have disqualified net code from the rest of this race. So hopefully we won't have that problem anymore.
No, absolutely. That was definitely pretty bad. And everybody in chat, thank you as well. Kick-Ass Duke, I know you were missing out on New Smyrna Beach. I do love it up there. Shark Bite capital of the world, but still a beautiful place to be. Love the racing that goes on there. They actually posted asking if anybody, or for volunteers, for spotters and crew members, actually, for the Tour Modified event there next week. All right, pace truck is down. 2 laps to go, the first of 2 official green-white checkers. Matthew Ace has got the lead, and he's going to get a great restart once again. Chris Melton will actually clear down in front of Chris Barker. Barker got an awful restart there, and Rick Baldwin will actually clear in front of him as well. Let's see what this battle will be for second as they are right on top of each other. 3 wide for second here.
Chris Melton.
Barker thought about making it 4 wide.
Chris Melton is not playing games. He took the advantage of that opening and absolutely sent it down the inside. Christopher Barker is coming back, also followed him right along here. That slots him up in just barely in the 3rd place. He's chasing down Christopher Melton, who's chasing down Ace. It's the final lap, guys. White flag is out. Matthew Ace is way ahead.
Oh, they get loose behind.
Slams in the wall. 0-1 in the wall this time now, Angel. They're 3 wide going into turn 3.
Oh, Barker gets loose.
Oh, they're crashing.
He's into the wall, but it doesn't matter. Off of 4, Matthew Ace finally gets the monkey off his back. He'll win here in the Ruff-Neck Racing Series. Unbelievable. He's been trying for a long time, that's for sure. And what an insane wreck at the end. That gives Rick Baldwin 2nd, Daniel Love 3rd, and Tim Richardson. Look at that. What a great turnaround for him.
Wow. 16 positions gained by Tim Richardson to finish in 4th. Also, this definitely does come in Rick Baldwin's favor. He did have that little incident early on in the race that does cause him to slide. right back up in the second.
Now let's see. We saw Barker, and it looks like he just got extremely loose on the bottom in 3 and 4, and it just shot up the racetrack while they were, and third wide. There's nothing more that you can do.
Yeah, because they were down here going 3 wide on the backstretch, going into 3.
Yep, we'll slow it here.
Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna take a look at
Barker. Looks loose a little bit.
Oh,
already.
he's super loose. Not
he
just a little bit.
The
very.
apron. That's what it is.
Well, not only does he do that and start to shoot up, but
look at Daniel Love again with just the. Wasn't the two of these truck Rick Baldwin and Daniel Love doing a great job?
Oh, they were. They're doing it again, and it turned out in their favor.
This time
2-3 finish right behind Ace.
Jumping on board.
But really quick, if you want to play that in slow motion again, I want to point out something that I did notice. So you see Barker gets loose and starts sliding up, then the 84 is coming down at the same time.
Oh,
and then that just causes them to knock into each other, and then obviously they're out of control, and they just collect Melton in that. And amazing reactions by the 71 and 19 of Baldwin and Love.
Forget the amazing reactions. They stay battling for second in the process.
Good stuff here by these two. Absolute class.
That was great. Let's go ahead and we have a victor that is waiting to be called on here. So let's go ahead and find.
Where would they be at?
I am
Here
the
he
chosen
is,
one.
Matthew Ace. You're gonna get the monkey off your back and finally get that win here that has eluded you, and you do it here in the first race of the season.
Oh man, I tell you what, it is. This is it went first 2 seasons without a win for James Wagner's Welding. Man, I tell you what, wasn't expected. My other teammates had a faster car tonight. I just played the right strategy. I was one of the first cars stayed out on no tires right there. I think I took them with like 26 to go. And all those cautions at the end had me nervous. I tell you what, man, that was a heck of a win. I was excited. Yeah. I'd like to thank James Wagner's Welding, my team Ruff-Neck. We put in a lot of practice. I'll tell you what, Team Ruff-Neck's going to be hard to beat. Feel like this was Dougie's race tonight. Dougie's been strong in the off season. The work that we've all put in together, working together, and man, what an exciting night! First Ruff-Neck win.
Man, and it's funny because as you see it here on the front, on the hood here for Matthew Ace, where the new slogan, is "Become Elite" for the Ruff-Neck Racing Series, and James Wagner, Dougie, showed that today, and I think that shows the amount of work that you guys have put into this offseason. So, Matthew, that was a great race, a lot of fun to be able to watch here, and I know you said it was kind of surprising for you, but you did a great job of holding on all the way through the end for that victory. Now, I ask you, next week, we head to Michigan. How do you feel about Michigan and trying to go back-to-back to start the season 3?
Michigan's one of my better tracks. Last season, that was me and Jimmy was racing for the win at the end of that one last season.
That's right.
Teammate Jimmy. I felt like I could have passed him on the last lap of that one if a caution hadn't came out. But nonetheless, Team Ruff-Neck was dominant last season at Michigan, so I feel like we got the right momentum going in.
That's the right way to start it off with a victory here. So we'll let you go out and celebrate, Matthew. I know you thanked a lot of your friends there and sponsors. Did you have anybody else that you want to make sure we didn't miss?
Hey, yes, I do want to thank my wife for letting me do this. First and foremost, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to. I want to thank again, James Wagner's Welding for everything that he does. Man, hey, want to let him know that I'm coming to drink a beer with you. We're going to celebrate after this one.
There you go. We'll be enjoying and celebrating it with you, Matt. Congratulations again. Then, hey, we'll see you next week at Michigan.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you, Angel.
All right, that was your first place driver right there. We'll jump now
Good
down
stuff.
here
Good
to
stuff.
Rick Baldwin.
Roanoke, Virginia.
I'll let you handle this one. Rick, this is
Rick.
You got it? Sorry.
Hey, Rick. This is Sam and Angel up in the booth. You got us?
Hey, y'all. Thanks for broadcasting.
Hey, I appreciate it. Good race from you. I want to point out first before I ask you any strategy questions that you and Daniel Love, we know this twice, that you guys avoided some crazy crashes. Just on reaction time alone, I noticed the first crash that you avoided, you slammed on the brakes and just kind of dodged. I think it may have been Rowdy getting out of control. Absolutely amazing reaction time from you.
Yeah, I dodged some chaos for sure, but there on the last restart, I just put my foot in it and drove through, and I got lucky.
Yeah, going back to the overall race, talk us through your strategy. So you were up and then fell back, and then at the end here, you managed to finish up in second.
Let's see. After that second restart, I decided to lay back, and hopefully a green flag run would happen, but it didn't quite work out that way. And then I think I made one mistake on pit road and went down for fuel, and I really didn't need to and didn't get tires, but luckily I had that extra set at the very end, and it really gave me the advantage for the last restart.
Yeah, so I guess you were kind of just going for tire conservation there, around the middle part of the race.
For sure. I wanted to be there at the end, and those guys up front were racing really hard, so I just, lay back.
Yeah, you guys definitely did a great job at staying clean for the most part, especially you. I saw you were making some pretty good moves. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank for your run here tonight?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for broadcasting every week. I love the broadcast, and thank you, Greenhouse Board Shop in Blacksburg, Virginia, sponsoring my truck, and also the Wagoner's Welding and AdminBoxx. Thank you very much.
Angel, do you have anything else for Ricky here?
I don't have anything else for you, Ricky. Congratulations there on your second place finish, buddy.
Thanks, y'all. See you next week.
All right, that was your second place finisher right there, Rick Baldwin. We'll go ahead now on to Daniel Love. Is he? Oh no, Daniel doesn't always. Oh no, he is. There he is. I almost missed him. Daniel, this is Angel and Sam here in the broadcast booth. You got us.
I got you.
Man, well, just as we mentioned there for Rick, but the C's would part ways for you not once but twice today to do some great wreck avoidance, and this time around it'll bring you home in a third place finish.
I did not think that I was going to make it through that. Any of them, honestly.
I'm not sure we did either.
No, I can't remember who was in front of me. I know me and the 96, we ran close to each other all night, and you said it right. The seas parted, and holy crap, we made it.
Well, Daniel, as always, you do have your buddy Carlos in chat with always rooting you on. But talk to us about the overall race. How did the actual racing go for you? You had these nice long green flag runs. How did that suit your style of driving? And was it something you were prepared for, or did you have to go ahead and kind of adjust that mentality on the fly?
I'll be honest with you. You watch me. I ran last year, half the races, I think. This is the most nervous I've ever been coming into one of these races. And my wife told me, she said, "You got this. You're good." And it actually ran, this race ran better than I thought it was going to. The racing was clean. Everybody runs at 100%, and I love it. My hat's off to Rick Baldwin. I was around these guys all night long. They did an awesome job.
Yeah, no, the racing absolutely was very clear. And even at the very end where I joked where it's like, man, these two just avoided a massive wreck in front of them, but they're still battling hard for second coming off of turn 4. So.
I'm glad I looked at I kind of glanced to my left, and I was like, we're neck and neck. I was like, maybe I can get him. But I knew, since him being on the inside, I knew he was going to get me. But I'm very happy with the top three. And this was probably one of the most exciting races I've had, other than Dover last year. But I'm glad to come home with the top three. So
Hey, I was mentioning, how Dover was quite the disappointment for you guys here. So, before I let Sam at least give an opportunity to speak with you, we head to Michigan next week, and is that a track that works for you? Do you think you can try to do something that you did at Dover, dominate, and this time come home with a victory, or are we looking on to a later on track on the schedule?
I've got a list of the tracks. Michigan, it's
Got a
yeah,
list. I love
yeah.
it.
I've got a list. I've got a list in stars. So Pocono, I'm looking forward to. Michigan's almost like Daytona and Talladega for me. I don't know if you remember last year. Yeah, Talladega. I just kind of drop out and I run in the back and see what happens at the end. Michigan, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. The whole season's going to be fun.
I agree. The racing has been good. Sam, you got anything for Daniel here before we let him go and celebrate his top 3 finish here?
Yeah, Daniel, I just want to ask because I see your profile picture here on Discord. It's got I know that's a blue Rackley roofing truck. I just want to point that out because I've seen Rackley roofing
That
at
was
National Fairgrounds.
okay. So that was Clay Greenfield. I worked for him on his late model stuff and on his NASCAR truck team. My profile picture is one of our races that we ran. We ran in 2020. I think we ran the entire season. But I was a quote mechanic for him. And that's where I've had racing is everything besides my family. But getting the opportunity to work on the truck, that's why I only run the trucks. I don't know.
That makes
huge
sense.
passion. Yeah, huge passion. I love it. So
That makes sense. Also, like I was telling Ricky earlier, good job on those crash avoidances. You and Ricky both were just going crazy.
yeah, so during our downtime, I actually bought a new computer and a new screen, and I think that's helped out a lot because now I can tell a huge improvement in my reaction time, restarts and starts and things like that. And I'm like I said, I'm surprised that I didn't hit any of them, but I'm very thankful I didn't.
Yeah, so congratulations again to your third place finish. We'll let you go and celebrate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you again next week.
Yeah, thank y'all for the great commentary.
Hey, I always say
appreciate that.
you guys put on the show. We just got to talk about it, so we appreciate it.
Yeah.
All
See
right,
y'all next week.
See you next week, buddy. Thank you. We'll send it back
Thank you.
to the. I'll send you right to the right spot, hopefully here. All right, if not, we send him to it somewhere. Alrighty, well, that was some great racing there. We appreciate, of course, always getting to talk with our drivers. We'll go ahead and go through our. Hold on just a moment. Our results. There we go. We had a chance there to speak with our newest race winner in the Ruff-Neck Racing Series with Matthew Ace, Rick Baldwin in second, Daniel Love in third, Tim Richardson, the guy who knows nothing but bad luck. He'll come home with a top 4 finish. It's a great way to start off a season for him after that incident in front of him. Chris Ramsey in 5th, Pete Dillon in 6th, Chad Hawkins in 7th, Jeff Scott in 8th. 9th belongs to Chris Melton, and then Jerome Cooper will round out the top 10. In 11th, it's Jonathan Vandenberg. 12th to Brandon Hinton. Jeffrey Ledford in 13th. Christopher Barker would fall down into the 14th position. Stephen Shue in 15th. Jimmy Rowdy in 16th. Matthew Gall, 17th. Jason Kinney in 18th. 19th belongs to Matthew Worrell. 20th to Larry Fairman. James Wagner in 21st. Randall Dale in 22nd. And then rounding out your field there in the 23rd position of Brandon Etheridge. We appreciate everybody very much for coming here tonight with us for what was a great race. A great way to start off season number 3 for the Ruff-Neck Racing Series. Sam, any final thoughts here before we close this one out?
Well, first of all, I want to say good job to all the Ruff-Neck Racing drivers. They put on an amazing show tonight. Yeah, for my first race, seeing these guys do their thing, it was super entertaining, absolutely incredible stuff.
All right. We tried getting these points working up here, but it's looks like even have some things to work on there. It wasn't quite coming up. So we do appreciate again everybody coming out for us. It is so nice to be back here with the Ruff-Neck Racing Series. We do look forward to seeing you all next week at Michigan. Please remember, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Get those bell notifications running. Make sure you join us next week here for Michigan, but also all the races that we have going on throughout the week. Sam, do you have any shows that you're on this week you want to throw out there?
Not this week. Next week
Okay.
I'll be on the next week.
Alrighty. Well, I always like to give that opportunity just in case. Thank you everybody again so much. Sam, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure to work with you. Welcome to the Ruff-Neck Racing Series. It looks like you were very well received here in chat tonight, so that's always something nice to see. Thank you everybody again for a wonderful night. Enjoy your evening, and I just want to make sure. Yep. Alrighty. Have a great evening, everybody.